5 productivity secrets that changed everything. Hey everyone, let me ask you something real. Do you ever feel like you're running on a hamster wheel, constantly busy but somehow not making real progress? Here's the truth. You don't have a time problem. You have a priority problem. 2 years ago, I was pulling 60-hour weeks, missing family dinners, and still feeling behind. Then I discovered these 5 game-changing techniques. Today, I work 30% fewer hours but achieve 200% better results. In this video, I'm going to share exactly what worked, and by the end of this video, you'll have a clear blueprint to reclaim your time and skyrocket your efficiency. The Eisenhower Matrix. Progress happens in the important but not urgent quadrant. The Eisenhower Matrix. This is the framework President Eisenhower used to manage World War II operations. You categorize every task into 4 quadrants. Quadrant 1, important and urgent. Crisis situations, do immediately. Quadrant 2, important but not urgent. Strategic planning, schedule these. Quadrant 3, urgent but not important. Most emails, delegate these. Quadrant 4, neither important nor urgent. Social media, eliminate these. Here's a real example. An angry client email demanding immediate response. Quadrant 1, handle now. Planning next quarter's strategy. Quadrant 2, block Friday morning. Colleagues, non-essential meeting. Quadrant 3, politely decline. LinkedIn scrolling during work. Quadrant 4, close that tab. Remember this, progress happens in the important but not urgent quadrant. Spend 65 to 70% of your time there. Method 2, the Pomodoro technique, created by Francesco Cirillo in the 1980s, when he was a university student struggling with focus. He used a tomato-shaped kitchen timer. Pomodoro means tomato in Italian. Here's the simple but powerful formula. Work 25 minutes with laser focus, then 5-minute break. After 4 cycles, take a longer 15-30-minute break. Your brain can only maintain peak focus for 25 minutes at a time. Neuroscience research from the University of Illinois proves this. After 25 minutes, our attention starts drifting. Plus, knowing there's a break coming makes it psychologically easier to resist distractions. Real example from my consulting business. I had a 40-page business proposal I'd procrastinated on for 3 weeks. Every time I looked at it, I felt overwhelmed. Using traditional methods, this would have taken 2-3 scattered days of unfocused work. Instead, I used Pomodoro and broke it down. Pomodoro's 1-2. Research competitors and gather data, 50 minutes total work. Pomodoro's 3-4. Create executive summary and project overview. Pomodoro's 5-6. Draft methodology and timeline sections. Pomodoro's 7-8. Write budget breakdown and deliverables. Pomodoro's 9-10. Edit, format, and final review. Total focused work time? 6 hours, 15 minutes, completed in 1 day. The proposal wasn't just finished faster. It was higher quality because of sustained, uninterrupted focus. My client said it was the most comprehensive proposal they'd ever received. The psychology is brilliant. When you know you only need to focus for 25 minutes, your brain doesn't trigger the resistance that comes with open-ended tasks. Pro tip: during your 5-minute breaks, step completely away from your workspace. Do jumping jacks, grab water, look out the window, stretch, but whatever you do, don't check your phone or email. Those notifications are momentum killers that will reset your focus timer back to 0. Method 3, the 80-20 rule, also known as the Pareto principle. This will completely revolutionize how you think about effort versus results. 80% of your results come from 20% of your efforts. Find your 20%. Italian economist Vilfredo Pareto discovered this in 1896 when he noticed that 80% of Italy's land was owned by 20% of the population. Let me give you some real-world examples that will blow your mind. Amazon. 80% of their profits come from 20% of their products, mainly Prime memberships and AWS, not the millions of random items. Microsoft. 80% of crashes and errors come from 20% of bugs, so they focus on fixing those critical few. Netflix. 80% of viewing time comes from 20% of their content. That's why they invest billions in original shows. Sales teams. 80% of revenue typically comes from 20% of customers. the VIP clients who buy repeatedly. Now here's how I applied this principle to transform my consulting business. I spent 1 full month tracking every single activity I did, and I mean everything. After analyzing the data, I discovered something shocking. One high-quality case study that took me 8 hours to create brought in more qualified leads than 100 cold emails, 20 LinkedIn posts, and 10 networking events combined. So I stopped the busy work and doubled down on creating exceptional case studies. The result, my lead generation increased by 300% while I worked 40% fewer hours. I went from chasing prospects to having them chase me. Here's your action step. For the next week, track everything you do in 30-minute blocks. Then ask yourself these 3 questions. Which activities actually move the needle toward my biggest goals? Which tasks could I eliminate tomorrow without any real consequence? What would happen if I spent 80% of my time on my highest impact activities? Most people are shocked to discover they spend 80% of their time on activities that produce only 20% of their results. Stop being busy, start being effective. Method 4, batch processing. This single technique can increase your productivity by 40% overnight, and here's the science to prove it. Instead of jumping between different types of tasks all day long, you group similar activities together and tackle them in dedicated, uninterrupted time blocks. Your brain needs 23 minutes to refocus after each interruption. Stop the switching. This research comes from Carnegie Mellon University's Human-Computer Interaction Lab. Every time you switch between different types of tasks, like going from writing a report to checking email to attending a meeting, your brain experiences what researchers call witching cost or attention residue. Think about it. If you check email just 10 times during your workday while doing other tasks, you're losing almost 4 hours of peak mental performance. That's half your productive day gone. My batching schedule: Monday, 9:11 a.m., all admin tasks. Expenses, spreadsheets, filing. Tuesday, Thursday, 2-4 p.m. communication blocks. Emails, calls, messages. Wednesday, 10 a.m., 12 p.m. content creation for entire week. Friday mornings, strategic planning and review, real impact. I used to spend 20-30 minutes scattered throughout each day on emails. Now I batch into 2 45-minute sessions daily. Saved 2 to 3 hours weekly, plus responses are more thoughtful. Pro tip for implementation: start small. Pick just one type of task to batch this week, maybe emails or phone calls. Set specific times, communicate your schedule to colleagues, and resist the urge to break your own rules. Within 2 weeks, people will adapt to your schedule. Method 5, eat the frog. Mark Twain said, if you eat a live frog first thing in the morning, nothing worse will happen to you the rest of the day. Your frog is your most challenging, important, or procrastination-prone task. Eat your biggest frog when your willpower is strongest, first thing in the morning. We have finite decision-making energy daily. Psychologists call it decision fatigue. As the day progresses, we avoid difficult tasks and default to easier ones. Personal example. For months, I procrastinated creating a client onboarding system. Complex, time-consuming, boring, but crucial for scaling my business. Every day, I'll work on it this afternoon, or I'll tackle it tomorrow. Meanwhile, I spent peak morning hours on easy tasks like organizing my desk. Then I implemented Eat the Frog every Monday, 8 a.m. before any messages. I worked on the system for 90 minutes. No exceptions. Result: completed in 3 weeks instead of months of procrastination. The psychological boost from conquering my biggest challenge gave incredible momentum for each day. Let's quickly recap these 5 game changers. Method 1, Eisenhower Matrix. Stop confusing urgent with important. Progress happens in quadrant 2, important but not urgent. Spend 65-70% of your time there. Method 2, Pomodoro Technique. Work in 25-minute focused sprints. Your brain can only maintain peak focus for 25 minutes. Then take that 5-minute break. Method 3, the 80-20 rule. Find your 20% that creates 80% of results. Track your activities, identify high-impact work, eliminate the busy work. Method 4, batch processing. Group similar tasks together. Stop the 23-minute switching cost that destroys your productivity every time you multitask. Method 5, Eat the frog. Tackle your biggest challenge when your willpower is strongest. First thing in the morning before anything else. 5 methods. 1 transformation from busy to productive. Here's my challenge. Don't try all 5 at once. Pick one that solves your biggest challenge right now. Commit to doing it for 2 weeks. Then come back and add another. Remember, don't manage time. Manage priorities, energy, and attention. If this video gave you an aha moment, give it a thumbs up and share it with someone who's drowning in their to-do list. What's your biggest productivity challenge? Which one are you most excited to try? Leave a comment. I read them all and often create videos based on your suggestions. Subscribe for more productivity strategies. You have the same 24 hours as everyone else. The difference is in your choices. Thanks for watching, and remember, tomorrow morning, eat that frog. I'll see you in the next video.